Many thanks for staying with us. It's still the conversation, and we're on to the second segment. And today we are delving into the remarkable transformation of Lagos, a city that is not just Nigeria's economic powerhouse, but also a melting pot of cultures, commerce, and innovation. From infrastructure to governance, Lagos continues to grow and adapt to the challenges and opportunities of a rapidly changing world. Joining us today to explore these developments and offer an expert perspective on the stride Lagos has made is our special guest, a colleague in the industry, an experienced journalist and keen observer of urban growth and governance, Kikelomo Oduyebu.
You. It's good to have you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Vikwe. Thank you, Joy.
We'll
It's a pleasure to be here.
We'll be discussing how Lagos has evolved over the years, the current state of its development, and what the future holds for this vibrant metropolis. Again, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, let's begin this way. Lagos State is known for its dynamic growth, okay? So in your view, what have been the key drivers behind the city's development?
Okay, let me first establish that I was born here, so I've seen. Okay, so I've seen quite a lot of remarkable changes that have happened over a period of time. I would say that one of the things that have moved the state forward is the fact that the governors had come from the same party. So that, to me, it's one of the key...
So continuity is key.
The continuity in government. The fact that I know that between the last administration, the administration of Governor Ambode and the new governor, there was a bit of... no, between the government of Mr. Babatunde Fashola and the Ambode's administration, there were some program and government projects that were not like followed back to back. For instance, like the Blue Rail, it really didn't attract too much attention during that time. He did quite a number of inter roads, like the inner roads in Alimosho, Ojokoro, and some other, link routes, which we must commend him for. But in terms of major, massive infrastructure, I didn't say it there was no continuity, but thank God that after a long time, the Lagos Blue Rail is completed now. So we're grateful for that because of the continuity, because if another government had taken place, I'm sure they will bring in their own developmental agenda and it may affect development. And the Red Rail was just launched for commercial operation. They've been doing tests. So I think that the fact that they come from the same party, there's a master plan. There's a master plan for the transport system. There's a master plan for the states that they are following. So I will give kudos for that to the government in Lagos State.
Okay, since you've started talking about infrastructure and transportation, which is the pillars of a state's progress in transportation. So how would you assess the role, of transportation, which is the number one
in the team's agenda,
in the themes plus agenda of Mr. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu? Okay,
for T meaning traffic management and transportation. Well, today, you know that because of the fuel crisis, the traffic management has drastically reduced. Traffic has reduced on Lagos Road. Traffic itself has reduced. But in terms of traffic management, give it to LASMA. They are doing quite a lot, whether in the day, in the morning, or in the night. I know there are a bit of issues on their attitude. There's a bit of issues on how they operate. But if you take LASMA away from the Lagos Road,
there will be chaos.
There will be chaos.
Yeah.
So we may have one or two bad eggs here and there, maybe on extortion or not really adhering to the rules. But traffic management in Lagos State has improved through the help of LASMA. I know that this is also being complemented by men of the police force. They have a traffic unit too. They also contribute their quota, and also the Federal Road Safety Corps. All of them join together to make the traffic situation in Lagos better for everyone. Of course, in some other areas, you still have some bottlenecks during peak periods, in the mornings and maybe late at night. On transportation, that's my best. I like the fact that the rail is working. I mean, I have entered it, and it was rails. I want to start with the rail because that is the latest, news in time. I've not entered the red rail. I hope to do that any moment soon. So I'm happy that after
what was your experience like on the rail?
Beautiful now. I mean, I have traveled abroad and I saw what it was like to enter rail abroad. So looking at the red rail, my fear is I hope they will be able to maintain the standard, because when you come back to the road, the BRT, when it initially came, we were happy. But as I sit here, I'm not too happy with the state of the chairs, the state of the hygiene in the buses. I mean, there was a time when you sit comfortably and you're just enjoying the AC and you are cruising. I've not seen the AC in recent time. So that's my fear with the rail. I don't want it to go the way of the Nigeria rail system. I do not want it to go that way. So I am particularly talking to Lamata. I hope they have a maintenance structure in system in place to ensure that this beautiful thing we're looking at, 5 years, 10 years down the line, we don't begin to ask, where are they?
You know, you cannot...
That's on transportation. For water,
let me cut you there. You know, you cannot just put it at the feet of the government also. The people have their own responsibility. It is not Lamata that is going to use it. It is we, the people. So I want you to also speak to the maintenance culture. Do we really have maintenance culture here as a people?
If you ask me, I'll tell you that culturally, we don't really have maintenance culture. We don't. Maybe we used to.
As a people or as for government itself?
No, I don't want her to talk about
governmenting is everybody's thing, so nobody is protecting. But we have to be deliberate. Look, there's a Yoruba saying that says, the government, the buck will still lie. That means that government is the one setting up this. There just must be some kind of maintenance culture to protect this infrastructure. If not, 5 years down the line, what will happen when the lifespan of this administration is no longer in place? I mean, when the last administration was in place, you go through the streets of Lagos, you see trees that are planted, you see barricades. Where are those barricades today? And you ask yourself, who removed those barricades?
It is us. It's not the government.
That's what I'm saying, us. Meanwhile, in these places where you have those barricades, there are CDCs, it's in front of the streets. In some places, you have cameras. So if impunity is not punished, then nobody will stop doing bad things. Bad things will continue to happen. We as
a people,
we need to do something.
To start owning, this infrastructure. Yes.
On water. Water is fantastic.
Have you been on that?
Some people have fear for
I have. Yes, I used to have phobia, but I've been on Lagos waterways, and it's beautiful. I also would speak for the operators, not Lac Ferry, because I know that you cannot go on Lac Ferry without your life jackets. But for the private operators, you have like the capacity of the boat is supposed to be 20, it's carrying 40. How will you not capsize? There's a regulation at night that there's a specific time that they must operate on the waterways at night. But sometimes they violate and then you have issues. So these are things we want the regulators to look into. Lac Ferry and the Lagos State Water she look into it and ensure that we maintain the needed sanity on our waterways. We don't want to continue to lose lives. All we need to do is to follow the regulation. Make sure you use your life jackets when you're going on the waterways. If you use your life jackets, even when there are casualties, it will be minimal.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. For transportation, I would say a 90, 95. But I still have a little thing about transportation, which is the fact that when there was this redesigning of the roundabouts, Allen roundabout, Maryland roundabout, and also the Lekki and a few other places in Ikoyi too. I'm asking, where is Awolowo status that was removed from the roundabout?
We have one here.
I know, but the other one at the roundabout precedes this one that we have here. I wish that the standing with One Nation will come back. Also at the also at that Maryland, when it was redesigned, very beautiful, but where is the monument that was there before? Either the three men carrying that Nigerian flag, which speaks to the pre-Independence Day, because it was just across the Independence Tunnel, or you return the monument that was made during the Ambodisa administration, so that it beautifies that public space.
Okay, Lagos environment, is key. Just this morning, Joy read, the Honorable Commissioner for the Environment and Drainage Services, sending an alert, some form of warning to Lagosians in some areas, warning them about flooding in their areas due to the rise in water level. And of course,
Ogun Dam will soon be open.
Yes. Yeah. So especially waste management now and flooding. What is your take on the state government's effort, in ensuring that, Lagosians live, in a clean and healthy environment?
Okay, the government has a role to play, and so far the government has been playing its role, in my own estimation.
Are they doing enough?
Well, it may not be enough. It could be better, because I will ask myself, before you give approval for those who build on wetlands or those who build on drainages. How did they complete the construction? Up till now, we have not really gotten a scapegoat. And as much as impunity continues, people continue to build on wetlands, people continue to build on drainages, then when the flooding comes, we will have issues. When the water is opened from Ogun Dam, or from Oyo Dam, or from Lagdo Dam, it will affect us in Lagos, because Lagos is below sea level.
But we've had authorities from the ministry who have come to say most of these people, these developers, house owners that build on these drainages, they boycott, the due process, by coming to Ministry of Lands to find out if this land they are purchasing or they are building on is meant to be built on.
Yeah, that's what I'm still saying.
Impunity.
Let's have more engagement with the communities. I like the fact that the new Commissioner for Environment has been going around recently, and I hope that that kind of engagement continues, such that I know that when the house is built already, there's nothing that can be done than to demolish it. I have seen a few demolition happening here and there, but community engagement is key. Ballets, before, even if they bypass the government officials, before anybody will build in a community, it starts from the ballets, it starts from the Omonile. So let us engage the ballets, so that the ballets know that where you are building, it's on wetland. Where you are building, it's on a drainage channel.
Or is a place that has been reserved for farming.
Exactly. And then we can also channel the water coming in. I know that when I was coming this morning, I got a call from a friend who is also a journalist who knew I was becoming, and he was like, tell the government there's hunger in the land. All the water that is coming, can we channel it to famine? I said I'll deliver his message. So the water, I know that we don't do too much of farming here, but can we begin to think, what do we do with that kind of water when it comes in? Is there maybe farming that can go up the water? We should think out of the box to say that between this so period and this so period, we have this volume of water. What can we do with that water?
Okay, let me move to health now. The Lagos State Health Insurance Scheme is something that was launched to help alleviate, financial burden, especially in terms of health, getting health care. So I'd like to ask you, have you had experience with it, your interface with it, and then what are your recommendations? How well is the state doing?
Okay, on health, I will give Lagos a pass mark. I'm someone who believes that for government to touch the life of the people, there are about 2 or 3 things the government must do. Health is number 1. Education is number 2. Then maybe infrastructure is number 3. So for health, I would say that I've seen a lot of upgrading of healthcare facilities. I've also seen a lot of trainings going on for healthcare officials. It could be better. Attitude is something I would still want to talk on. I mean,
attitude of who? The healthcare workers?
Healthcare workers. Okay. I use the healthcare, public healthcare, and sometimes I just go there like a Nigerian who needs services. I'm sometimes not too pleased. I hope that all the management will look into it, especially at the primary health center.
What are the factors that is making you unhappy, that you experience?
It will be out-of-pocket expenses that sometimes you don't have receipts for. Yeah, I think like hospital rats, government should look into it. For Ilera Eco, fantastic plan, because it will help us check out-of-pocket expenses on healthcare. I'm an ROE. I know that for a family of 4, I think you pay 40,000 per year, and they have also expanded its services. There was a time I had a complaint with the fact that you get to the hospitals, sometimes the drugs. I still have complaints on the drugs. I know they've moved the drugs now. You collect your ticket and then you go to community pharmacy to go and pick your drugs. Fantastic. But like in a recent stakeholders meeting, I threw up that challenge. What is the quality of the drugs we're taking from the community pharmacy? I had to treat my daughter twice. When I was not satisfied with the first treatment I got,
her own story too.
Yes, I was not satisfied. I had to treat her twice. I had gotten to the community pharmacy and I had picked, and nothing happened. I had to take her back to Lasut. I gave her to her at Anyuke, so I took her back to Lasut. We already have a card there. Of course, that is not covered by Ilera Eco. I was prepared to go that route because of the extra. Pay extra and be fine and be healthy. So I like, and I raised it up at an health stakeholders meeting, that would the government please and LASHMA look into. We are saying we want to engage the community pharmacists, but what is the quality of the drugs they are giving out? If the quality of the drugs is not good, it will be garbage in, garbage out. It doesn't matter if there are many. And how do you certify that the drugs they are giving, whether generic drugs or fake drug or substandard drug, somebody needs to monitor what we are getting from there. I have had like 2 experiences. But I eventually went to Lasut, I got my prescription, and I went to the pharmacy I was comfortable, sells good drugs, and I bought from out of pocket, and that settled it.
That's one area that you need to look into. I also want you to talk about the integrated vaccination campaign started on Saturday.
Goodness.
It will run through the 2nd of November.
I saw some of them, yesterday, and before you say anything, Kike, let me tell you my own observation.
Okay.
I saw this women, you know, they were even going, you know, back and forth, you know, on the road, you know. Why did they give them a megaphone or something, you know, to announce their arrival? So when I saw them, I stopped and I said, look, how many people have you been able to? She said, all these people with gates.
Hesitant.
Which we talked about here, that people should open their gate. And she said she's not even sure if a lot of people are aware of it. So I said, okay, I'll go into my own clothes. I'll just put it on the closed platform that, look, this is what is happening right now at the gate. And, you know, the response I got was like, okay, I'm going, because, you know, it's from is it from 6 months to like 44 years? For
9 months to 59 months.
Yeah, to 44.
Then 44 for yellow fever.
For yellow fever. And they were like, they said, okay, thank you very much, madam. So I think the awareness is not enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the awareness is not enough, but I think that some of the community mobilizers are doing
I saw that
fantastic job.
I saw them yesterday.
I belong to some health platform, and I'm also a member of the Lagos State Accountability Mechanism for Maternal, Newborn and Child Health. And I know one woman in Alimosho, for instance, Roger, if you are hearing, thumbs up for her. I mean, she mobilizes her own community. She mobilizes other health workers to go in and vaccinate people. So if other people in their own in
our only two ways.
In our only two ways, do our own part. HPV vaccination, by the first time it came out, it had a lot of issues, a lot of, you know, we don't want to go into it. But I still feel that it is better to be vaccinated. It's better to be safe than sorry. If you vaccinate your girl child against HPV, you would have solved a lot of problems, whether she's sexually active now or not sexually active. And I like that, the fact that it's also covering measles, it's also covering yellow fever. So kudos to the government. I hope that more people, I mean, if you get your own vaccination, when you get home, please tell another person. Keep spreading the news. And like that,
I want you to address
go round
the issue of hesitancy amongst people. Even with the level of awareness, a lot of people are still hesitant. They'll say, my child cannot take it. I have met someone who said, Kilonjebe, mommy will. You know, and I'm like, in this present day and age, so awareness is there, but
I don't understand. So like, when she gave birth to her kids, did she get the
she said she had never vaccinated her children. She has 3 children.
Wow. So that's where the role of the church and the mosque comes in. We should have public health educators. I know the state has, the Ministry of Health has a unit for, and the Primary Health Care Board also has a desk for public health. We should have people who go to church. Sometimes they don't believe from government, but they may believe from their imams or they believe from the pastors. Some are tied to religion, some are tied to culture. But if we have champions among the pastors, among the imams, among
the traditional
rulers, it will go a long way to help us break the barrier when it comes to hesitation in getting vaccinated.
That was why I asked the officer last week when she came that, look, traditional birth attendants, you know, what role do they have to play in all of this? I said, yes, they're carrying everybody.
They have a key role to play, and we must carry them along.
Because there's some people who will not go to hospital.
They will not.
They don't believe in.
They will not. I mean, I've covered some communities who say that it is that traditional birth attendant, and I know that the government is engaging them under the traditional medical board, but we need to do more. There are still some that are not covered or that are not registered.
Okay, let's move on to another sector, which is technology. So,
education and technology.
With the increasing push for smart city initiative and digital innovation here in Lagos. How do you see technology, developing Lagos and the efforts of Lagos State government in all of this?
Okay, I think that Lagos is an upwardly mobile state. Technology is key. This is where you have all the industry. So you can't do the headquarters is here. Even if they've moved in 1991 to Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, but this is the commercial asset. This is still the hub. So the technology is here. I mean, and I'm grateful that the government is leveraging on that. We have a Konkeko where there was a time where they have a boot camp for young students to learn from. I know that the e-library thing was also there at some point. I don't know what state it is now, but it was functional at some point. We also have teachers who were given the EcoExcel to enhance teaching in school. Then the Konkeko thing is also there, helping students leverage on technology. I think that...
and I think most schools now have this, in Lagos State, have the smart...
Yes, the smart board. I mean, in the Vetland the school, we have it there. I think the Ogombo too, that was built during the first administration of the present governor, Sanwo-Olu. Yes, we also have it there. So we need to leverage on technology, because the reason why the youth are restive and they think that their voice is not heard is because we're not leveraging on technology. We know that the bulk of the youth are within that space, and we must leverage on it. I'm happy that the government of the day, the Lagos State government, is engaging the youth in some of the appointments that we have. But technology is also key to, push.
We're still looking forward to, a Lagos where anywhere you are, whether at the parks, anywhere you are, when you're seated, you have access to internet.
Well,
I know at JJT Park,
JJT, I mean, I've visited JJT a couple of times. I don't know lately, but I've visited.
But I have experienced, logging on to the internet.
Yes, the JJT Park, you have free Wi-Fi there. Then Murio Kola about the park too. I don't know of any other places, but I know of JJT. I mean, I've been there and I've used.
Well, even if we are in a commercial buses, not just the BRT. Looking forward to in Lagos, where we will have Wi-Fi and where we can log into free Wi-Fi, where we can log in at any point in time. That is how it is being done in the abroad. So let's move forward. To Lagos' major challenge, which is the population.
Over 20 million and still counting.
And we have a daily influx of people into the state.
So how can Lagos State, manage this major challenge? How can they now turn this challenge into positive? Because they always say if you throw lemons at you, you make lemonades. How can Lagos State government make good use of this
population
influx of people into the state?
We cannot stop people from coming to Lagos. We need to establish that. I mean, war is ravaging the northeast now, and they are moving. Have you seen all your street centers, and you have seen Okada rider, the person selling that fruit, the person selling pepper? You can see
they're taking over pepper.
They are taking over pepper. I mean, I no longer go to the market. You just see them with their wheelbarrow. You buy and you go. So also with your fruits, you just buy and you go. So population will be continue to be a major issue, but we can turn it to an asset. How do we turn it to an asset? Can we identify these people instead of being a problem to us in tomorrow, where God forbid, we have terrorism or Boko Haram strike in Lagos. But if they are not properly engaged, we can have them, because an idle man is a devil's workshop. I like the fact that last week WAPA graduated some women in the 19 and youth in the 19 vocational centers. Vocational training is key. We must identify those who are willing to learn a skill to push them towards that skill. Those who want to do menial jobs. Can we regulate it? I still say that those who wants to do, maybe, I know that Okada operation is forbidden in some areas, but we have some people who do it in other areas. Can we regulate to know that these are the numbers of people doing this so within this area? So if there's a problem, they know who to hold. But as it's where now, they just come in clusters and you don't know who to hold. So we need to take advantage of our population and turn it to economic growth for us, for sustainable development. We will continue to have influx of people into Lagos, unfortunately, and the infrastructure will continue to be overstretched. There's nothing we can do. It's a human issue, but governments and both at the state level and the local government level.
Because many people have said that Lagos itself is a country and deserves, that special status.
I quite agree. I quite agree.
All right, let's look at making Lagos the 21st century economy. I want you to look at some of the major accomplishments of this administration. Are they really on the path to making Lagos a 21st century economy? Yeah,
I think they are. Through their engagement with key businesses to regulate. As at 2020, the tax IGR generated by Lagos was like over 66 billion. The Lagos state government said he wanted to turn it to 77 billion in 2023. We're still awaiting the records for 2024. So you know that the economy in Lagos is booming. However, power is killing them. If you go through Obakran, he said that big, I don't want to mention its name, has disappeared. A small company has taken over. Guinness has gone from that place. Only small, Just Right is there now. Down on that same street, Dunlop is gone. On that same street, so big major industries are living. And why are they living? Power is killing them. Infrastructure is killing them. So to continue to make Lagos a 21st century economy, the environment must be conducive for them to operate.
But these big companies living is not a sole responsibility of Lagos State. It is the
federal. So that's what I'm saying. Government. That's why I said government. The Nigerian government. Of course, you know that it trickles down from up to the bottom. I mean, what affects them at the federal also affects them at the state level. So they would not, if they leave Lagos, how about the people who were former workers? Where would they be living? It will still be Lagos. And they will continue.
They've lost their jobs.
And they've lost their jobs. They've lost their source of livelihood. So it will affect feeding. It will affect families. So we need to continue to implement policies that would make businesses to be friendly and conducive for everyone to operate. I like the fact that still making Lagos a 21st century economy. I like the fact that if you go to Idioro now, you see that Mushi, the food hall, very wonderful. I have not been there. I'm hoping that when they complete the one in Agege area, it's still under construction. Yeah, that's closer home. I might be able to visit there. So I like the fact that the Onje Eko is also available. You know, when you feed the nation, when you feed the people, the level of anger in the country will reduce. So we need to still do more in terms of farming. There was a time tomato was not available at all. And I asked myself, what is happening? Tomato. As I'm telling you, was not available.
Tomato.
Abi? So I think that farmers also needs to do more. We also need to plant what we grow. We have to support the government. We have to grow what we eat, and we have to eat what we grow. In your little place, do your own business. Grow your own business. There was a time I was watching on LTV this Adire in Festac. Was it in Festac? I think it was in Festac area or thereabouts. And I'm like, wow, this is economy. So we keep improving on the economy of Lagos. We don't have to depend on imported goods. We make our own goods here, and we let it stay within the system so that money can continue to flow around.
Okay, we have 2 minutes, just 2 minutes before we go. I'd like you to, talk about the, shed more light on the responsibility of individuals as in Lagosians, communities, and in their own role, in making Lagos a better place to live. Government, look at all what you have talked about. Look at all what we have, talked about. Government has done this, has done that, has done this. It's not upon us, to own this thing. So what advice would you have for Lagos residents, Lagosians?
Okay, through the Lagos State Ministry of is it local government and chieftaincy affairs? You have different communities showcasing what they are doing. So people are doing. People are doing. We can only encourage them to continue to do more because this is where you live. Lagos is first home to the indigent, second home to almost everybody. It's home to everybody. I mean, you are just you don't want to go. So my advice is, please make your Lagos good. Grow your business. And this is where you grow your business. Keep Lagos good for everybody. Pay your taxes. You understand? The taxes makes the government to do more for us. So, and I think that if we continue to do our own part and the government continue to do its own part, then Lagos will be better for all. Finally, let me relay his message again.
1 minute more, Kike.
1 minute. Thank you. Let's all of us go back to farming. Okay. Agriculture is it. I know it will take a long time for us to get it right, but if we go back to farming, perhaps the food insecurity we're talking about will be reduced.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us on the conversation today and sharing, joining us on this insightful conversation. We have been discussing the development of Lagos, a journalist's perspective. Thank you so much. The conversation continues. Stay with us.